What is up, y'all? Nick Flicks back with another movie review. We're going to do one of the most popular movies from the 80s. I'm talking about The Terminator. And if you've never heard of The Terminator, you're probably living under a skull somewhere. The movie starts off in Los Angeles 2029, showing us a nice little glimpse of the future. But basically, real quick, the story is that in the future, there's a war between humans and machines. There's this great leader, his name is John Connor. He ends up smashing the machines in the future. So the robots want to send somebody back in time to kill his mother, Sarah Connor. So the humans catch wind of this in the future. They send their own guy back, his name is Reese, to hopefully stop the Terminator from killing Sarah Connor, the mother of the unborn child, John Connor, the great leader of the future. You might be asking yourself, is he really calling him Reese instead of Kyle? Yes, I am. And why? Because it's a lot cooler than Kyle. Plus, it's his military name. Reese. Okay, now that we've got that sorted out, let's get into the movie. We start off in the 80s in Los Angeles, and we have to show the two main characters getting transported from the future. First, we start off with the Terminator. He really doesn't have a problem with it. Okay, he has a nice little landing. He comes down on one knee, raises up, doesn't have a scratch on him. Goes walking off down the street, totally butt naked. They show that in the movie. I mean, they really didn't need to show that, but they did. So the Terminator ain't messing around. He goes ahead and just punches one guy right through the stomach, like rips his heart out. Like, what? He gets their clothes. He gets the punk's clothes. He gets ones that fit him real good. So he's looking snazzy. He's looking even more crazier than he looked before, because now he's got like chains and stuff coming off his jacket. It's like, geez, dude. Meanwhile, our hero, he's not having quite as good of a time doing the time travel. Okay? It's like he got dropped off the top of a building. He comes down, lands on the street. He's all like just shivering. He doesn't look like he's having a good time. Of course, he's butt naked too, because that's the thing. When you come through time, when you travel through time, you can't wear clothes. You got to come through naked. That's why he couldn't bring any futuristic weapons or anything like that. He had to just come through naked. And he immediately goes over and robs a homeless man of his pants. Not only does he rob this homeless man of his pants, but the cops just happen to see him. Like they really give a crap about some homeless guy in an alley. They're like, hey, buddy, stop. Like, we just saw you take that guy's pants. Like, no, you didn't. You weren't watching that. You don't have the manpower to watch all the homeless bums in the alleyway and make sure they don't get their pants stolen. Come on, give me a break. I mean, it's like these cops just show up out of nowhere. So he's on the run from the cops, and he makes this one cop look completely stupid. I mean, I'm sure this cop got made fun of when he got back to the precinct. I mean, it's like, dude, first of all, you let Reese sneak up on you, take your gun without any kind of a fight. I mean, Reese has got his gun. He's like, asking him what the date is and stuff. It's like, dude, you got jacked by the guy that didn't even know what day it was. Come on. So then Reese goes ahead and breaks into this, I don't know if it's like a sporting goods store or something like that, but he's in there and the cops follow him in. I mean, this is like the Keystone Cops or something. You got these guys that are all bunched up. It's like, they don't even spread out. Meanwhile, Reese is in there stealing even more stuff. He gets himself a nice pair of Nikes. I mean, he's looking good. He gets himself a trench coat looking thing so he can hide his shotgun in there that he's going to steal from the cops here in about 2 minutes. He's ready to go. He's looking good. He's back on the street now. He's got his trench coat. He's got his pants that he just stole from the homeless guy. He stole his shotgun from the cop's car. Now we're going to introduce Sarah Connor. And it shows her rolling down the street with her sporty little scooter that she's got. So she goes and locks her little 80s scooter up to some big Burger Boy statue, and then goes in and proceeds to fail at her pathetic waitress job for the rest of the night. I mean, she can't handle her tables. She's got kids dumping ice cream into her apron. She's not having a good time, okay? Sarah Connor, she needs to get with it. She needs to get with it. Meanwhile, We get a little update on the Terminator, and he's out doing what Terminators do. Okay, he's stealing cars, he's stealing guns, killing people, assaulting people, kills another lady that he thinks is Sarah Connor. I mean, it's like no stopping him. He even drives over this kid's toy. Back to Sarah Connor and the terrible job she's doing as a waitress. Okay, as if her night couldn't get much worse, she goes into the back room to find out that some lady named Sarah Connor just got whacked. Okay, just got blasted in the face like 6 times, named Sarah Connor. So that kind of freaks her out a little bit. Fast forward, she must be off work now, but she's back at her crappy little apartment with her crappy little roommate. I mean, they're both squeezed into this little bathroom trying to get ready, and the one can't take her headphones off for longer than 1 second to do anything. I mean, could you imagine her with the cell phone? Jeez. So they're in this bathroom, they're both trying to get ready, and the one's dancing, bumping into her. Oh, sorry, oops, there's just no room in here for anybody. So right when they're getting all ready for their date, Ginger, her roommate, her dorky boyfriend calls. I mean, this guy is going to end up in jail sometime for doing something inappropriate to a woman. He doesn't have much common sense, but you can tell he thinks he's smart because he's sitting there wearing an Einstein shirt with the arms ripped out, calls the apartment, and then just starts talking about doing sexually perverted things to whoever's on the other end of it. He doesn't even know. He doesn't even know who's there. He just hears a female voice. I'm going to undo your buttons one by one by one. Not the sharpest crayon in the box. So the girls are getting ready to go out. They both got dates. We got Ginger's dorky boyfriend on the way over. And then Sarah Connor's obviously got some date with some guy that drives a Porsche. So she's like 99.9% ready. And then she goes to check the daily messages on the voicemail. Okay, that's something normally that you would want to do right when you got home. You don't really want to get home and then get ready for 2 hours and then check the messages. That's not too smart. But again, this is Sarah Connor that we're talking about. So she checks the messages, come to find out that she's getting stood up. The guy that was supposed to go out on the date with her is like, hell no, I'm not going out on a date with you. And you know why? Because she lives with an iguana. This thing just runs around the apartment. She picks it up and kisses it. I guarantee you, he came over one time to the apartment. He saw that shit and he was like, I got to get the hell out of here. He's like, this crazy woman is kissing an iguana. Okay. He's like, you know what? I got to go right now. He's like, yeah, of course we're going to go out to the movies here next Friday. Yeah, I'll call you. No worries. I'm going to pick you up at the Porsche. We'll go. But I got to go right now. And then when Friday rolls around, he's like, yeah, I can't go. Something came up. Yeah, I'm going to have to go ahead and I'm clipping my toenails tonight. I can't do it. I can't do it. It's another little chapter in the pity party that is her life. But here's where Sarah's inner strength comes out. Is she going to be upset, stay home, and cry about it? No, she's not going to. She's going to go out. She don't need no man. She's going to go out and have a fun time, eat some pizza, and just do it up. Single woman style. But as soon as she goes out the door, guess what? She gets assaulted by Ginger's dorky boyfriend. Yeah, he just straight up grabs her. It's like, dude, you don't know the boundaries, do you? You don't know. You know what consent is? Probably not. So Sarah has got on her little moped and she's out. She's having a good time with herself. And she's got this tasty looking pizza. And right when she's going to take that first bite, which is always the best bite, I mean, she's like, ha. And she hears behind her that another Sarah Connor just got her face blown off. She's like, oh my God, just lost my appetite. I don't even want this pizza anymore, which is a damn shame. So Sarah is starting to get a little freaked out now. She's back on the streets of LA, walking up and down, not knowing what to do. Meanwhile, Reese is perving on her down the street because he's trying to get that ID. He's trying to lock in that ID, make sure he's got the right Sarah Connor. But dude, you're not doing a good job of it. You look like a total creep. coming down. I mean, every time she looks back, he's like looking at her like, oh my God, like trying to act like he's not looking at her, but you're looking right at her. No, I wasn't looking at you, but yes, I was looking at you. I mean, come on, Reese. Come on, dude. You're like at Creeper 2000 level right now. Just chill out, back off. Don't be all up her ass, all right? So, not knowing what to do, she just goes into the first place of business that she can find, which is the Tech Noir. It's this dance club. Meanwhile, back at the apartment, she's going out to make this big, delicious sandwich. Does she take her earphones off? No, she's wearing them the whole time. Still just dancing. 80's. Meanwhile, the Terminator is inside the apartment, and he is getting ready to kill Ginger's boyfriend. Boom! He punches the pillow. Dude gets out of the way just in time. I mean, okay, the guy is pretty dumb. However, he does have some balls. Okay, he actually tries to fight the Terminator. Boom! He gets thrown into the mirror. But does that stop him? No. He gets up and he actually tries to get a double leg takedown on the Terminator, which the Terminator instantly stuffs and then throws him through another wall. So he's pretty much dead now because he just got thrown face first through a wall. She sees the Terminator. She's like, ah, and he's like coming through the wall now. Bro, he's all pissed off. He's like, are you Sarah Connor? I don't care. I'm going to kill you anyway. Pulls out this gun with the laser sight on it. Okay, and he aims it at the back of Ginger's head as she is desperately trying to run away. And as a kid, I always thought maybe she dodged that first shot because she dives through the air and then boom, he shoots. But no, she did not get out of the way of that bullet. She's on the ground. However, that's not enough for the Terminator. He comes up, bam, 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 and just shoots her like 10 more times right in the face. Back to Sarah Connor at the Tech Noir. She doesn't know what to do. So she's calling back to the apartment. She doesn't get anybody because she probably figures Ginger has her headphones on and probably can't hear the telephone ringing. So she goes ahead and leaves a message. I'm at the Tech Noir. I'm at the Tech Noir. The Terminator then hears that and he's like, oh, that's where you're at. Okay, I'm going to come down there and kill you now. Meanwhile, while this is happening, Michael Biehn is still moving in, trying to properly identify Sarah Connor so he can save her life. And this all takes place right there at the Tech Noir. And real quick, check out that this same guy is in like 6 places at one time at the Tech Noir. I realize hiring extras is expensive, but come on, James Cameron. Come on, man. So this all comes to a head at the Tech Noir. We got Michael Biehn in the Tech Noir. We got Sarah Connor in the Tech Noir, and we got the Terminator in there. The Terminator walks right up to Sarah Connor, puts the red laser beam on her forehead, and is getting ready to blow her brains out. She looks up at him. It's like, dude, Sarah, this is when you move. This is when you get out of the way of the gun. She just looks up like, okay, kill me. At that exact second, that's where Michael Biehn pulls out his sawed-off shotgun, boom, boom, and actually knocks the Terminator down with his shotgun. Remember that? He actually knocks him down. The whole rest of the time in the movie, every time he gets shot, he doesn't get knocked down. But at that exact moment, the shotgun takes him down. Boom! Blows him away. All these people are running. It's total anarchy. Terminator pulls out this little Uzi and just kills like 10 innocent people. I mean, we've got action going on right now. We got people shooting at each other. It's awesome. It's all 80's right now. Okay, this is what the 80's is all about. Michael Biehn runs out, gets in a car, is trying to get away. The Terminator jumps onto the hood, punches right through the windshield. He's on fire. His eyebrows got burned off. He looks like a complete psychopath. Somehow, they get away from the Terminator at that exact moment, and they go hide in a parking garage. Meanwhile, the Terminator's like, oh yeah, you think I'm done? I ain't done. So he goes over to this cop who's like, oh my God, we got a hit and run here. He takes this little dweeby cop. This is probably one of my favorite parts of the whole movie. And just takes him and just crushes his face into the side of the cop car and takes him out. He's like, this guy. So we got the Terminator. He's out looking for Reese and Sarah Connor. Meanwhile, they're hiding in this parking garage, and Reese is trying to explain to Sarah what the hell is going on without freaking her out. Meanwhile, the Terminator's looking for him. He's got the police scanner, so he kind of has an idea where to go. They're both in this parking garage. They spot each other. The chase is on. Boom, boom. They're shooting at each other with these shotguns, blowing big old holes in the side of each other's cars. Dude, I mean, this is what the 80s is all about right now. Car chases, shooting guns, wrecks, explosions, fire. We've got it all. We've got this epic 80s chase going on right now. Okay, the cops are getting in on it. This is getting intense. And Reese, okay, he's doing a good job to be driving this car. I give him credit. He knows about cars. He wants to act like he doesn't know about cars. We're going to get into this later, but he knows about cars. Okay, so we've got the cops in on the chase. We got the Terminator chasing Reese. Reese is trying to get away. He's trying to protect Sarah. And at one point, they're getting ready to slam into this wall. Reese and Sarah, they slam on the brakes. I think they throw the thing into a park or something, just completely fry the transmission. It comes to a screeching halt. Meanwhile, the Terminator, boom, he goes right into the wall. It looks like a nasty wreck. He comes out of the side. It looks like he jacks his arm pretty good, jacks his face pretty good. Okay, right here, this is the part of the story that completely baffles me. So Sarah Connor and Reese, they're in the car. Reese can't get the thing out of park because the transmission's fried. We got the Terminator like 10 feet away. He just wrecked his car into a wall. Yet he's the Terminator, so you know he's fine. So Reese and Sarah obviously can't do anything at this point. They're stuck. What are they gonna do? They're totally stuck. What is stopping the Terminator from getting out of this car and killing him? They turn around and look at the Terminator's car and he's gone. He ran away. He went back to his apartment. The Terminator has an apartment. How did the Terminator get an apartment? Okay, Reese doesn't even have underwear, but yet the Terminator has an apartment. So the Terminator runs from the scene. I mean, why did he leave? He could have killed Sarah Connor right then and there. What, the cops, are they going to stop him? No, because we showed that the cops aren't shit when he goes and kills like 28 of them here later on that night. So I'm sure the 4 or 5 cops that rolled up on him weren't going to be that big of a threat. However, the Terminator chooses to leave and go back to his apartment. And I mean, he's got things to take care of, okay? He's got to cut his eyeball out because it got damaged in the wreck. And he's also got to comb his hair. Why is the Terminator combing his hair? That doesn't make a lot of sense, guys. Come on. So he's back there. He cuts his eyeball out. He gets his gargoyles, which are like the Oakleys of the time. He's got them on. Boom. He's ready to go. This is the typical, Terminator look right here. Ready to kick some ass. He goes walking down the hallway. That one black guy's like, God damn, man, you smell like ass. So meanwhile, Kyle and Sarah are back at the police precinct. They're trying just to calm down. Okay, they got Kyle locked up because they think he's a nutcase because he says he's from the future. And meanwhile, Sarah is just totally freaked out. And you know what? If I saw who was running that police station, I would probably be a little freaked out too. This guy looked like Neil deGrasse Tyson on crack. I mean, I'd be like, you're the one in charge? Oh God, we're dead. So then he tells her to go relax and go lay down on this nasty ass green couch that has probably had about 10,000 farts farted into it. So we've got Sarah trying to relax. We've got Kyle locked up in some room talking to some goofball shrink that looked like he could be the human version of Humpty Dumpty. We got the police captain. He doesn't know what the hell is going on. He's drinking coffee with cigarette butts in it. And here comes the Terminator. He is getting ready to lay waste to this entire police precinct. And this is probably one of the most epic scenes in all of movie history. Okay, I mean, he goes on a rampage. He's in there, he's shooting everybody. He is just, I mean, it's like a flawless victory. No one's even coming close to stopping him. Lance Henriksen comes around the corner, shoots him with this assault rifle. I think the Terminator goes, pew! Like one time, he moved like one little flinch. That's about all the damage that they did to him. The rest of it was just him just blowing away cop after cop after cop after cop. I mean, it's a little over the top. He kicks those cops' asses. Meanwhile, Reese is getting out of there, okay? He's making his escape plan. He knees this one cop in the stomach, and kills him. He goes and gets Sarah, and they escape the precinct. They get in a car, and they're off. Okay? And this is where Reese shows a little bit of his weakness as a man, I think. Okay? Because we all know what you're trying to do, Reese. We all know you want to go back in time because you were in love with Sarah Connor, and you finally got her alone. You finally got her. You rescued her. Yes, she's going to be all into you now, right? That's what you're thinking. So you go ahead and you try the oldest trick in the book. You act like the car ran out of gas so you can spend extra time with her and get closer and be like, well, I mean, what are we going to do? We're going to have to cuddle up now because the car ran out of gas, right? And don't act like you don't know that cars run on gas, Reese. Okay, because you had that flash forward to the future where you flipped that one car onto yourself and then burned half your skin. Remember? So you know that cars take gasoline. You know you would have had to put gas in the car to keep it going, but you chose not to. And don't be like, well, he didn't have any money, because he did have money. Remember when they get to the hotel, he's got that big wad, that big handful of money? So you knew how it worked, Reese. We know what you were trying to do. You're trying to get with Sarah. So he gets Sarah in the little underpass there where they're hanging out. He thinks he can maybe get close to her there, keep her warm, snuggle up with her a little bit, cop a feel here and there. That's what he's thinking. But Sarah has this little mental breakdown about how she's not good enough. She can't even balance a checkbook. She doesn't want to be the mother of the future. She doesn't want it. I don't want it, Reese. Meanwhile, Reese is like, I'm going to try and salvage this. And he starts talking about how great of a leader she is. Okay, he's like totally stroking her ego, trying to get into her pants. So these two people end up making it to a hotel. What does dumb Sarah do? Again, I mean, if she could stop making phone calls for longer than one day, she might live a little bit longer. But she goes ahead and tries to call her mom. Meanwhile, the Terminator has killed her mom and has taken over her mom's voice and is now tricking Sarah into giving up her location, which she does because she's not that smart. So little do they know that the Terminator now knows where they're at. However, they're still prepping. At one point, they're making homemade bombs in the hotel room. Okay, and Reese is like trying to show her how to make them and stuff. He's like, oh my God, be careful, careful. He's gonna blow us up. That's when Reese is in his normal frame of mind. When he's in his sexually frustrated frame of mind, which is coming up later on in the night, and all he's thinking about is banging Sarah. That's all he wants to do, but he doesn't know how to do it, and he's scared. All I'm gonna say though is that John Connor can thank his mom for his existence, because if it wasn't for her, she never would have got laid. Okay, because Reese wasn't gonna do it. He is getting so upset now. He's over at the bag with the explosives and he's ramming them in there. 2 hours ago, he was telling her to be careful when she screwed the end on, but now he's slamming them into the duffel bag because he's sexually frustrated. Sarah is feeling the vibes, okay? She's like, okay, this guy is pretty sexy. He came back from the future. He memorized this poem and everything. He told me I had a nice field dressing. Maybe he wants to bang me. So she's like, hello, 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 hello. Meanwhile, he's freaking out. He's about ready to blow them both up. Okay, she's like, hi, hello, hello, hi. And then they finally make out and they make John Connor, okay? So it's the morning after. The Terminator has still not shown up yet. But now they're just joking around with the explosives. Okay, she's like, hey, catch, haha, just kidding. Right when they're getting ready to head out for the morning, boom, that's pretty much when the Terminator shows up. Okay, and we get another epic chase scene. This is awesome. You got the Terminator, he's on the motorcycle. Okay, you got Reese and Sarah, they're in the awesome 4x4 truck. They're tearing, I mean, this is awesome. Okay, we're shooting at each other, driving through a tunnel. It's just getting epic. More 80s epicness here is unfolding before your very eyes. It turns out Reese gets shot up. He ain't worth the crap. Blows the Terminator up. You think the movie's over. You're like, oh my God, they both lived. Yes, they both lived. But no, it's not over yet. The movie's not even close to being over yet. The Terminator re-emerges from the fire. All of his skin falls off, and now he's just the robot. And now the robot's after him. Because he's got like a bum leg and stuff. So he's like gangster walking over to kill him and stuff. Chases him into this big factory. I mean, I'm not going to beat around the bush. Reese dies. However, they do blow the Terminator up. Okay, but even after the Terminator has been blown up, he's still chasing after Sarah Connor with his one arm. Finally, she gets him in this big hydraulic press and crushes him. Finally, it's over. You can see the red light in his eye dim. That means he's dead. When the eye light goes out, that's the end. But I hope you enjoyed it. And until the next one, y'all, peace.